From the Toronto International Film Festival, this is Red Carpet Diary. Kill Your Darlings is advice given to writers about their words and characters. And now it's a film starring Daniel Radcliffe, who plays Beat Generation poet Allen Ginsberg. Ginsberg is known for being involved in a literary murder set in 1950s New York.
Are you a writer? Because I've got a job for a writer.
Rhyme, meter, conceit. Without this balance, a poem becomes slack.
Then how do you explain Whitman? Well, he hated rhyme and meter.
What's your name?
Allen Ginsberg.
You know, I was able to look at Allen Ginsberg's diaries from the ages he was in the film and even obviously earlier as well. And I found them really helpful in kind of just learning about him as a young man. And he was a really, really fascinating character. So no, I mean, but I don't think, I think in the last few years I've found an approach to acting that is different probably than anything I was using while I was on Potter, so I suppose that my approach to every part would be different from how I did that.
When taking on these huge, giant kind of literary legends, the easiest thing, we were so first overwhelmed by just the amount of biographical material out there and having to portray these guys, these literary giants. So at some point you said, you know what, we're going to stop our research at the point of the age when they're in the movie, because they're only 17, 18, 19 in the movie. So let's look at their adolescence, let's look at their childhood, and let's look at who they are. We're not doing Allen Ginsberg, you know, the poet we all know in the 1970s with the hair and the beads. This is a young guy named Allen who's a working class kid, who's a repressed homosexual from New Jersey who wants to do something important with his life.
Dad, it's $5,000 bail.
Go to hell. Please don't get involved.
That man ruined my son.
They wanted to speak up. They wanted to change things. They wanted to challenge society. They wanted to, like, you know, do things. You know, live is the most important thing. Living, and I think, you know, they set such an amazing example, and we're seeing it today in such a way. Like, there's this sort of like resurgence of like the beats. Like now, everyone, like, you can't walk outside like 10 steps in New York without seeing someone dressed like Jack Kerouac.
Not every script is this good, like not by a long way. This is it was an amazing script and it marked itself out because it was so free of exposition. You know, every scene, the story's moved along, but it's moved along through character development rather than through like expositional dialogue, and so it was just really well written.